Well, welcome back, everybody. As the title says, my foolish self destroyed my emergency water source. Now we need to repair it. All right, so the quick story, while we have this here, let's get it repaired, let's test it out, and then let's shut it all down for wintertime because we have freezing temps coming. But as you can see, my plumbing is destroyed. My shack is now loosened, well, partially broke off in the ground. My pipe going to my pitcher pump and everything else is, well, just doing whatever it wants to do now. And my pump, absolutely destroyed. So we all make mistakes, right? We mess up, and I messed up big time. So I was doing one of the last mowings of this property down here, and I did something very foolish. I left the bucket on the front of my tractor, something I never do because it sticks way out wide, and I don't like that when mowing because you'll hit trees and, well, you'll hit other things like I did right here. I come whipping along through here, mowing, kind of half looking behind, checking things out, and the front edge of my bucket caught this tank, completely pierced my water tank and destroyed it. So check that out. You can see right where the front bucket went in, completely just obliterated the tank, stabbed into it, so I don't trust it no more. There's an air up bladder in there. Ripped it completely off of the base, the feet, moved my entire structure around, ripped my clamps out holding my pipe in. I drove right into the side post here on my structure and had the whole thing leaning over. I'm surprised I didn't snap the post off in the ground. So needless to say, I felt about this big and very foolish. So why do we have an emergency water source down here? Y'all, just being perfectly honest with you, as crazy as the world's getting, it's nice to have some sort of backup water source. Water, you know, the key element to life, other than, well, we need that sunshine too, don't we? So it puts us at peace having something down here. We've got a pitcher pump in here, and I plumbed in a 1 horsepower shallow well jet pump, and I hand drove my well in. You should really check that episode out. The other reason, well, if we ever lose water up at the house, the pump fails there and we can't get somebody out quickly, at least we can come out here and get water to bathe or do other things that we need to do. Water our animals, things such as that. And I may eventually put a water trough down here, and now I've got another source to water things. So it's for all those particular reasons, but ultimately it's peace of mind is the reason we have this. All right, so there's my story. I really messed up. We got a lot of repairs to make. I'm losing sunlight here. I want to get this thing back going. And then we have freezing temperatures coming in 2 days. I want to get all this drained back down, but only after I make for sure that it works. Let's get started. right, so we're back together, but I'm gonna let this glue set up overnight since it's getting dark, and we'll come back out here and test this tomorrow. I did want to address, I had a lot of people on the last build video tell me I should put the filter back here before the pump. That way you're filtering out any potential sand from pump damage. That's a really good idea, but here's the problem that I have found. With a sand point wellhead, you get very low flow as it is, and these pumps are very particular about that. I've actually had to go through a couple pumps a while back testing before I found one that would actually pull enough water. So by putting the filter here, I'm putting a restriction before the pump, and even though I haven't tested it, I'm quite confident in this particular setup, the filter would cause the pump to lose suction. We're already pulling through a check valve. We're already struggling to pull up against a sand point wellhead. I'm afraid it would not have worked. So if we can get a free flow of water to the pump side, the pump can build up the pressure then to overcome the filter media and material and go out. I know this isn't ideal, but I want filtered water regardless. I just really don't think the filter is going to work before the pump. All right, I'll see y'all back tomorrow. We'll test all this out. I'm ready to get my emergency water back, and then we're going to winterize everything. Hopefully this works. All right, so here it is, next day, and the temperature is dropping fast. So I wanted to give myself plenty of time for all this glue to set up. But now we need to prime the system and test everything out. So I'm gonna use one of these portable power stations. So here's my EcoFlow Delta 2 Max. It should have plenty of power to start a 1 horsepower well pump. But first, let me move this out of the way so it doesn't get wet. We need to prime this pipe because the water's then slowly drained all the way back down in there. And the cool thing is we can actually use the pitcher pump to prime this. And I haven't run this pump in quite a while. So let's see how difficult this is to get going. I might have to go back and get some water in a bucket or something. Looks like I'll be getting a new trash bag too, since both of these are trashed. All right, the lighting's horrible. This is gonna be so difficult to see. Let's see. We can actually get this to prime. All right, you can see how nasty the water is. We just got 7 inches of rain, and this is a shallow well, so I was expecting everything to be muddied up. Good news is, well, the well is technically primed. Try to get us to a little bit clearer water. Now, it's also very important that you prime your pump. Never ever run a pump without water in it. And I put this special T in on my line that it has a large opening. That way I can prime this entire line, the filter, and the pump itself. Otherwise, most pumps come with a small hole right here on this side. It's got a plug in it that you have to prime. And it's very, very aggravating to fill up all this with that tiny little hole that they provide. So by running my pitcher pump, I just pulled water up from the well right to here to where it tees off and goes to a check valve and then to the pump. So we've got water up to this point, but on the other side of the check valve, it's nothing but air. So when you kick the pump on, well, the pump can't actually grab a hold of and pull any water and pressurize this side. So I just brought some water down from the sink. We're gonna make a little bit of a mess here, but that's okay. We're just wanting to fill all of this stuff up. All right, it's not taking any more water. We should be good to go. Plug all this back up. Fire everything off. All right, let's fire it up and see what happens. Building pressure. Should cut off before long. There we go. We are primed and ready to go. Check this out. we're back in business. So let's open this up, drop the pressure, see if the pump kicks back on. Oh yeah, good pressure. Pump's back on. Cut that off. So for the people that were curious, can you actually run a shallow well jet pump on a sand point well? Yes, you can. Now you can't pull extremely high flow. This pump can actually outrun this sand point well if I were to open it all the way up, but it'll sit here and hold this kind of pressure all day long. All right, so how cool is that? Not only do we have a pitcher pump for emergency use, but we have a shallow well jet pump that can run off of, well, a device that we can charge with solar power. And in case y'all missed the episode where I built this, I actually have it designed to handle a couple 100 watts of solar panels out there in case I needed to plug a device in and run for longer periods of time down here. And now that we're building portable solar panels, well, I can bring my 800 watt setup down here, and that's about how much power this uses. I could, in theory, run this continuously as long as the sun's out nice and bright. Some people may think this is overboard, but hey, not doom and gloom and nothing. But as crazy as the world's becoming, we love having us a backup water source. If we never use it, that's okay. We don't have a tremendous amount of money invested in this. And if we ever do have to rely on it, well, it's worth its weight in gold. So now we need to winterize everything. Calling for frost again in the morning. We had a couple 20-degree days last week. And the last thing I want is all of this that I just put together busting. So all we need to do is drain the pump and crack a pipe up here somewhere and allow the water to drain back underground where it will not freeze. We have no frost line down here in Florida. We just want to make sure we get all the water out of the filters, the pipes, everything else. So let's do that. All right, for starters, we'll kill the power here. Bleed the pressure off of the pump. And then we need to drain the line and the pump itself. And what you can't see is there's an actual drain down here on the bottom side of this unit. There's a plug. We're going to take that out. It's the lowest point. And now all the water is going to come out of the pump, out of the line itself. And I'm going to leave my spigot open over here so it can pull air in and allow all this to free drain out to the ground. Now, because we have a check valve in right here, we're technically holding water back behind this check valve in this pipe right here. So what I can do is unscrew my pitcher pump right here, allow it to pull air, open up this valve right here, and then air will follow the water back down into the ground, back washing out the sand point well, so to speak, and then everything is beneath the ground to where it cannot freeze. All right. So let's unscrew this pitcher pump. I could really go store this in the shop for the winter and only bring it down here in an emergency. All right, so now that the pump is off and this valve is open, you can technically see all the way down to the water level. But regardless, we have sucked enough air in, and now wherever the groundwater level is, which is probably realistically only a few inches below the dirt right here because we got so much rain recently, that's where the water is. Tell you what, we'll just screw this back on. It ain't gonna hurt it to stay down here through the winter now that there's no water in it. All right, I'm gonna put all my plugs back in so critters don't crawl in any of this throughout the winter. Last thing you want is bugs and poop in your water. All right, now the last thing to do, I'm gonna go get a couple fresh trash bags. I like to cover this up, even though this is designed for outdoor use. I don't want the sun getting on it, rain getting in it all winter, since there is electrical contacts here. And I like to put a bag over my pitcher pump because there is openings to where birds, squirrels, mice, everything else can get up there, pee and poop. And the last thing you want is that in your water source. All right, so just like that, a foolish mistake on my part cost me a little bit of money, cost me some of my pride, but we're back up and running. We have our emergency water source ready to go. These things happen, and we share the good and the bad on the channel. We all make mistakes. Thank y'all so much for watching. Catch you on the next episode.